Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust. From home selling tips to investing, this is the talk show that will help you make the most money when selling your most valuable asset and save the most money when buying. Now here are your hosts, Dave McKay, along with Wally Kerr, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty in Oklahoma City.
Good morning, Wally. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm really good. I think I'm better knowing that the weather's going to break a little bit tomorrow.
Yes.
We complain when it's too cold and then it gets too hot and we're ready for fall. It makes me think about football season coming up and sitting in the stadium at those hot games. What about you?
Yes.
So I'm glad to see the relief. And I think what's amazing to me is that school starts in less than a week in Moore and Yukon. Wow, Dave, it's happy August. It happened really fast, didn't it?
Yes, it
did.
did.
The summer is over halfway done.
What do we got going on today? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We'll have a really good show for our listeners today. We're going to start a new segment called Wally's Wisdom. I'm going to share some things that I've seen happen over the years. There's a lot of scams out there today. I mean, I get emails almost every day where people are trying to get your passwords. It's phishing and it's scams.
Oh, we can't deliver this package unless you put in your
We're going to
information.
need your Amazon password. We're going to need your Microsoft password. So there's scams and there's people that really are just trying to take advantage of folks. And I see a lot of that today, even in real estate.
Really?
I'm going to share something about that today.
Okay.
We're going to go to segment number 2 on energy savings and solutions. I just thought these would be good, timely segments, Dave, because it's been so hot.
Yes.
Energy bills. We'll talk about that a little bit today. So we're going to talk about some federal tax credits that I think a lot of people don't know about that you can take advantage of.
Interesting.
I think that'll be a really good segment for our listeners today. Well, hopefully we'll get time to go answer a couple of calls, maybe one or two listener calls today. And we're going to talk about advice for the current real estate market. It's changed, and we'll talk about that during our show today.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
To schedule an appointment with Wally Kerr to help you or a family member buy or sell a home, call or text at 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Wally will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show right here on KOKC.
The market is shifting. Do you know what to do? If you're selling a home, you need to realize that market demand is changing, and it's changing now. More homes are coming on the market than homes that are actually selling, so the inventory is going up. What does rising inventory mean? Prices can soften. It's important you get on the train right now and understand what you need to do to sell a home. First of all, my guaranteed home sale program will create more demand for your home because I can buy someone else's home so that they can buy yours. If you're thinking about selling by owner, I can create more demand for your home than you can ever create on your own. I'm Wally Kerr, and I believe in aggressive marketing. My wife and I have done this for 36 years together, and we now have a team of 28 people. If you'd like to create more demand for your home so that your home will sell faster and for top dollar, give me a call today at 405-330-4000 at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I'd love to meet with you and discuss a strategy and plan for getting your home sold. Call me at 330-4000. I look forward to talking to you myself.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful, from knowing which program fits your situation the best to identifying the best terms. Hi, I'm Chris Stoke with Gateway Mortgage. I work closely with you every step of the way, from pre-qualification to helping you choose the home loan that's right for you. My promise is to provide transparency, timely communication, personal service, and closings on time. Call me today at 405-253-2276. That's 405-253-2276.
NMLS 984758. Gateway Mortgage, a division of Gateway First Bank. NMLS 7233. Equal housing lender.
If you or a family member will be selling or buying a home and would like to schedule an appointment with Wally, call 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr.
Welcome back. This is the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr. It's brought to you every week by Chris Doak at Gateway Mortgage. Wally, when we opened the show today, you said it's a different story in August. What do you mean by that?
So for about 2,000 existing homes in the metro, the average days on the market's increased now to about 45 days on the market.
Okay.
A lot of people would be surprised to hear that. I asked a couple of people inside my office when I did the research a few days ago, and I said, what do you think the average days on the market is now? And I had guesses of 21 and 25 and 30. So it's changed because of the market, and we know that. Interest rates have gone up. Now we're heading back to the start of school. I just want homeowners, maybe you're selling, maybe your home's on the market right now, maybe you're thinking about selling. It's been very hard to change people's paradigms, Dave, about where we've been and where we are today. and how much influence the Fed has had with the rise in interest rates.
Sure.
And people are still buying and selling, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely a change in the marketplace. So I just felt like maybe a 35-mile radius around downtown Oklahoma City would give us a pretty good sample of what's going on. Again, over 2,000 homes, and the average is 45 days on the market. Now, that's for homes under $1 million.
Okay.
Again, the market's beginning to slow a bit because school is starting, and that's always a distraction, and we talk about that here. But there's a lot of homeowners that really need to sell.
Okay, so that's a price point that's real easy because it's above $1 million, below $1 million. And I would think, obviously, a huge percentage of homes are below $1 million.
Right.
Above $1 million, that's going to take a certain kind of buyer. And I would think it's less dependent upon getting the families back in school and everything as it is on this is where we want to live and I have the money to do it and I can do it. And those people might be moving in June, July. They might be moving into those homes in November. So that's interesting. It's a very different market than what we've been accustomed to for the last couple of years. So tell me a little bit more about those higher end homes above $1 million. How are they selling? How are people buying those?
I think it's important that we distinguish here that it's not, everything's busy under $1 million and slower above $1 million, because it's not that at all. You get still above about $400,000 in most of the metro markets. Now in Edmond, that's about the average sales price for a home.
Sure.
But it is slower, say above $400,000 or $500,000 for sure in the market right now. I just chose $1 million because there aren't as many. I believe there were 125 listings on the market today in the multi-list, that 35-mile radius around downtown Oklahoma City. But those average days on the market have gone all the way up to 96.
Oh, wow.
And I think that part of the market slows when school starts. Remember, though, there are always people transferring into Oklahoma. And even though our values have gone up a lot, Dave, for a lot of people moving in from California, Virginia, Florida, hey, listen, $1 million home's pretty affordable.
Yes.
There will still be people transferring in, but there is a decent amount of inventory that is building up.
So what's the solution for homeowners who have had their homes on the market so long and maybe are getting concerned? What's their solution?
That's a great question. So your home has just got to stand out in the crowd. That's really important. There's got to be an easier way for a home buyer to transition into a larger home or a more expensive home. And so it's the reason that Cindy and I created our guaranteed home sale program.
Yes.
Their current home sold guaranteed at a price agreeable to them, or we'll buy it so that they can step up and step into that higher priced home. This gives a buyer the confidence that the current home will be sold in time for closing on their new home.
Now, you've done this for probably close to 10, 15 years now or so. Tell me a little bit about the success with it, and how has the reception been when someone is worried about selling their home and you're able to offer this and everything goes off without a hitch? I got to think they're ecstatic.
Well, yeah. I mean, our program was designed to fix people's problem.
Yes.
And the problem was, hey, Wally, I love this home over here and I really want to buy it, but I really don't want to be stuck with 2 house payments. So we started this in 2007. We want to make that easier to avoid what we call the real estate catch-22.
Yes.
And that is, do you sell your home first and risk not finding a suitable replacement home, or do you buy first and then risk owning 2 homes at the same time?
A double-edged sword. I got to think, first off, trying to approach a real estate agent and telling them, hey, if I have an issue with this, will you just buy my home? They're going to be like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
But that you offer this is fantastic in the first place. So if you didn't do that and people didn't approach you to get their help, they'd end up owning 2 homes at once, which would be just scary. I know that your program is a great program that many home sellers and buyers have taken advantage of. Can our listeners get more information? Where can they go for this?
Yeah, they're always welcome to call, but I realize that a lot of consumers like to do their research on their own before they call or before they text.
Sure.
Gosh, you can reach me either way, 330-3000 anytime. Visit my website at wallykerr.com. We have a lot of information about the Guaranteed Sale Program. Again, Dave, the one thing we didn't mention is a lot of folks just can't qualify for that second home. We talk about, hey, you could own 2 homes at the same time. There's a lot of folks that can't afford to own 2 homes at the same time, especially with the rise in interest rates.
Yes.
Maybe that's something you could pull off financially and you have the income and you've got low debt. And maybe you could do that when rates were 3 or 3.5 or 4. But now what happens if you hit your dream home and rates are 7? So the Guaranteed Sale Program, we've got, I think, some of our biggest advocates have been people that have used our program, and we've helped them buy their dream home so that they avoided two houses and owning two houses at the same time. But more importantly, they get the home they want with the help we give them. So, yeah, they can do research on our website or call anytime.
That's a little less stress. I mean, going into buying a home and spending $450,000 and you found that dream home, and then there's that little nugget in the back of your head saying, what if we can't get it because I can't sell this house? There's always that in the back of your mind. And for you to be able to offer that, that stress goes away. They're so excited. They're going to get the house they want. It's going through, and they know over here that they're going to get the money that they at least expect for their home that you guys agreed upon. So they're going to sell it. They know, and the stress is gone.
But let's also, when we sit down and consult about this $1 million home, or this, you're in a $300,000 home, you want to buy one that's $450,000. Let's look very carefully, because insurance has gone up and taxes have gone up, and let's look at financing. So this is not just about, hey, let's go do this deal. It's all about, let's consult and make sure this is going to be a good decision for your family.
You know, that's a lot of wisdom you just offered there. And let's talk about Wally's wisdom. This is a segment that you mentioned at the top of the hour. I believe you've got a story to share that was an awakening for some home sellers who fell victim to someone they thought that would help them. Is this kind of like you were mentioning, maybe a scam? I hate to hear this.
Yeah,
but tell me what happened.
You remember the housing bubble of 2006, 7, and 8.
Yes.
Then values began to change, and that's when we had a bust in 2009 and 10. So this goes back to that housing market crisis and when the market was falling a bit and adjusting. And so there were some unscrupulous individuals, I'm just going to leave it at that took advantage of distressed homeowners that were facing foreclosure because the market changed. And in one case that I remember clearly, a scammer approached some homeowners at risk of losing their home and promised to help them save their property. And so the scammer convinced these homeowners to sign over the property to them temporarily so that it wasn't lost at sheriff's sale.
Okay.
So it was signed over to the scammer with the promise that the scammer would pay off the mortgage and then return the property back to the homeowner once their financial situation stabilized. Well, instead of helping, the scammer either took ownership of these properties outright or sold them to a third party. And that just left the original homeowners completely displaced. They lost their homes and they had no recourse because they were in foreclosure. So the lender had all the rights in the world to take the property. Scammer walks in, uses their money, buys the property, and with this promise that they're going to get help from the scammer, but the scammer took advantage. And it reminds me of some of the scams that I see. It just seems like it's greed. It's just people wanting to take advantage. And I hate to see things like that, but that happens in real estate.
So, and that seems to be happening in today's society across the board on all kinds of different situations. It seems like it's hard to open your email anymore without phishing. I know they use that term phishing. I've seen where you might get something that looks like it's coming from your bank or from Amazon and different places. And, hey, we can't process this transaction unless you log in. And you don't know
Give us your password.
You're logging into a different site, not the one. But some of them look genuine. So how would you know for some people what's real, what's false? And
Would it be trite to say that old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is?
Is, yes.
And when you're in financial situation or financial hardship, people are looking for someone to help. I've certainly had many people call over the years who've just said, I need some help. And sometimes it's just a matter of just listening to what's going on. I had a customer not long ago that thought this country superstar was in love with her. And she was receiving these videos, and they wanted her to give to this charity. And if so, they were going to reward her, and he was very interested in her. It was a scam. It was done up with videos and artificial intelligence. It's gotten a little scary. So as we talked in our last segment, being a broker for over 35 years has allowed me to see and hear a lot of these scammer stories. And I think it's most important for our listeners to know that we're always sharing what full market value is for any home when we come look at it. So if someone calls me and says, Wally, I'm in trouble and I just need to sell my home. Sure. Our goal is never to go take advantage of someone. That's too easy for someone to say, hey, these guys weren't honest and sincere. And you know how it is. You do something good for someone and one person passes that along.
Yes.
You do something bad and 10 people pass that along.
Yes.
So our responsibility is to meet with any homeowner present current market data, tell you exactly what your home is worth in the current market, even if you're in trouble, and then to offer options. And we offer to buy homes like other investors. And if we do, up front, you're going to know exactly what we believe market value is before we even make an offer to purchase it. I know there's many investors who aren't licensed agents, and they don't have all of the sales data that we have available to us.
So you mentioned right off the bat, and I know this, that you've been doing this for 35 years. Again, purchasing a home is the biggest purchase you're going to make in your lifetime. And hopefully you get to make it a couple of times. As you grow with your family, you get to move a couple of times and increase your home size and where you want to live and all that stuff. It's a huge undertaking. And for someone who is not in the position you're in, they're not in real estate, that's not their expertise. Just like me, I'm going to sit back and really be worried if I'm behind on my payments, if something's going to happen, maybe I'm facing foreclosure. I need someone to talk to that's going to tell me all of my options, set my mind at ease, as opposed to, sure, I can sell this house for you right now and let's move on. But speaking with someone like yourself or a representative at Kerr Team is going to give me all of the information and say, hold on.
Yeah,
don't freak out
panic
too much. Don't panic.
Right.
These are all the programs we can do. This is everything you can do. It's of your choosing. I'm not going to say you need to do this and you need to do that, because that's what the scammers tell you to do. But you're going to be able to offer all of this advice, put my mind at ease. You know, I might have to make some tough decisions here and there, but they're going to be decisions that are going to help me keep my home, possibly, you know, put my mind at ease.
I think many of our listeners realize that a foreclosure process, if you get behind on payments, financial hardship, you know, keep in touch with your mortgage company, let them know what's going on. The foreclosure process is typically at least 6 months. So you're always going to sell any home for more money by placing it on the market for sale. You know, let the market determine market value by exposing it to hundreds of home buyers instead of just rushing in and taking a low offer and finding out that you got taken, like these scammers did. I always seem to equate selling a home to selling something on eBay. I know I've mentioned that before. There's always a buyer for about everything you see on eBay. And if you're bidding
Are there homes on eBay?
We have placed homes on eBay in the past.
Okay, I just thought about that. I mean, you can buy anything. So.
Yeah, and you typically got lower bids on eBay. That's not really the place to sell a home.
Okay.
But like with a 10-day eBay auction, there's typically multiple bidders who are driving the price higher and higher as the offer deadline appears.
So is it possible for someone to sell their home without even allowing any showings on it?
There is. I mean, you could actually offer a home for sale without even showing it once. Someone could buy it sight unseen, but you'd need to be aware that any buyer is either going to want to do inspections on it to make sure there aren't major problems, or if you're not willing to do that, then you might have to provide a pretty deep discount. And so, sure, we've got buyers for all price ranges. You've heard me say for years, Wally has the buyers. If you've got a home, you really don't want to put it on the market, you said it a minute ago, Dave, give customers options. Yes. Let them know what's available. We can buy it. We can put it on the market. You don't have to show it. We can do all the showings you want. We can put it on the market for a week or 10 days or 2 weeks. And if you don't get an offer you want, we can buy it. If you need help financially, or you know someone, more importantly, that needs help, have them give me a call. I'll try to give the best advice possible.
And you've mentioned, we talked about this even last week, if you feel like you're just not ready to sell your home, but this is a situation where you just might have to, but you're not knowing what upgrades you want to do and clean up the house and all this stuff, and your head's going in circles because you've missed 2 payments already anyway. You have those buyers in waiting that want to check out the off-market homes, and this is a perfect situation where it's like, hey, we don't have to list it, we don't have to do this, I can get you the market value for it. I have buyers that would be interested in checking it out. Again, it's another just check mark of the list of things that's available through Wally Kerr to put my mind at ease.
I can run it in front of 60 investors who are buying homes nationwide if someone just goes to highestprice.com and submits information. We've got great options, and I think anybody would expect that from a 35-year broker. Again, we're here to help. At the end of the day, I am a real estate broker, and I'd love to give you my best advice and hear from you. Call me anytime at 330-3000. You can shoot me a text if you're more comfortable, and I promise I'll get back, quickly.
We'll be back in just a minute to talk energy savings and solutions and federal tax credits you can take advantage of.
To schedule an appointment with Wally Kerr to help you or a family member buy or sell a home, call or text at 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Wally will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show right here on KOKC.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful, from knowing which program fits your situation the best to identifying the best terms. Hi, I'm Chris Doak with Gateway Mortgage. I work closely with you every step of the way, from pre-qualification to helping you choose the home loan that's right for you. My promise is to provide transparency, timely communication, personal service, and closings on time. Call me today at 405-253-2276. That's 405-253-2276.
NMLS 984758, Gateway Mortgage, a division of Gateway First Bank. NMLS 7233, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Wally Kerr, and if you didn't know, there are 6 big reasons why homeowners like you choose to list their home for sale with us. First is our offer to sell your home at a price agreeable to you, or we'll buy it ourselves. How can we do this? It's reason number 2. We have hundreds of pre-vetted home buyers waiting for their dream home to come available. That home may be yours. I'll show you our list of buyers when we meet. Our partnership with Zillow is reason number 3. Zillow chose our team to help dozens of ready home buyers each and every month. Reasons 4 and 5, MLS data shows that our listings have sold faster and for more money on average for 4 years in a row. But don't take my word for it. We have hundreds of online reviews at both Google and Zillow. See what our customers say about us. I'm a 35-year broker with over 4,000 home closings. My team and I are ready to work for you. Call me at 405-330-3000 at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, or simply visit wallyhasthebuyers.com. I look forward to talking to you myself. Call me at 330-3000. 330-3000.
If you or a family member will be selling or buying a home and would like to schedule an appointment with Wally, call 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr.
Okay, Wally, I don't even want to see my electric bill when it comes in the mail this month. I just think that,
me either.
Kim, open it, pay it, don't tell me how much it is. It's been so hot, just struggling to keep it at a decent temperature.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried.
No doubt. I mean, this is one of those summers where you begin to wonder, what things you could do to your home that would improve efficiency. You can kind of give you an example.
Okay.
The last home we lived in, we were on acreage like we are now, and Cindy wanted lots of windows inside the home.
Okay.
So on
Lots of natural light.
Lots of natural
Yes.
light. So in a 2,500 square foot home, we had 51 windows.
That sounds like a lot.
That's a bunch. So when you looked out, she wanted to see the horses in back. We had
Okay.
these big picture windows, but then we had transom windows up above that. So,
okay.
So really the back side of the home that looked over the horses and the pasture were just windows. Well, can't tell you how many times during the cold winter I would lay in bed and I could hear the furnace running. Maybe I'd wake up early in the morning. Dave, the furnace would go off. And there were times I remember where it wasn't even 90 seconds and it's back on again. And I realized,
man.
I thought we bought pretty good windows at that time, and I think we did, but our furnace ran a lot in the cold. So this segment is all about federal tax credits that are available. We're going to talk about some really good stuff in this segment.
Yeah,
that
let's
I think,
talk about your heating bills in the winter.
yeah, let's not.
We'll go past that. I won't. We won't trudge up that bad memory for you.
So it's either so whether it's winter or whether it's summer.
Yes.
First of all I could say is thank you, Cindy, for writing those checks and never telling me how much they were, especially for the heating. But here's good news for our listeners today. Under the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, were you aware there was one?
No.
No, me either. Okay. Until I started researching.
Okay.
So under this act, the federal income tax credits are available for energy efficient home improvements, and they're going to be available through 2032.
Okay, so would this be new homes? You want to make sure you put in those energy efficient units and...
Okay, before you get too far there, guess what? This is available for your existing home.
Okay.
You can get tax credits for the next 10 years, including this year, up to $3,200 a year. Let's do the math on that.
I was going to say that, too. I was going to say, in an existing home, if I'm upgrading and it's time to put in a new unit, I want to make sure I pick one that's going to qualify for this.
And guess what? It's a lot more than just air conditioning units and furnaces. So that's where the good news is. So to keep it simple, Energy-efficient home upgrades will provide up to a 30% tax credit for qualifying Energy Star equipment. That's a blue label with
I've
a
seen
star
that.
on it. It
Yes.
looks like a little meteor or a comet shooting right
Yes.
through the middle of that star. You can research this online. I'm going to go ahead and give the website.
Refrigerators have those. Different appliances.
They
in the
do.
kitchen. Okay.
There's a lot of things that have that. Doors, windows, and so let's get into this. So this includes improvements such as installing new, more energy-efficient central air conditioners, furnaces, heat pumps for those who don't, who live on acreage, heat pump water heaters. That's one that has only been in the market for a number of years.
Okay.
Insulation in your home, doors, windows, skylights.
That makes sense, yeah.
Electrical panel upgrades. It'll even help pay for home energy audits to determine where you're losing energy and what you should do.
Okay.
And these things are all covered by the tax credits. They can help families save money on their monthly energy bills for years to come once you get these put in. The tax credits are also available for geothermal heat pumps, the water source heat pumps.
Yes.
With the wells that go into the ground, okay? And also for solar energy expenses.
This covers quite a bit.
It does. It does. So existing homes and new construction qualify. Both principal residences and second homes qualify. Rentals do not. So I can't take my rental properties and go do these things, Dave, and get a tax credit. It's got to be an owner-occupy.
Okay.
But it can include a second home. And would you believe it include a houseboat?
Oh, wow.
Or a mobile home, or a condominium, or even for manufactured homes.
I never even knew about this. So let me ask you this question, too. Is this just a flat, you get a break on the price of it when you purchase it, or is it just a break on your bills? It's basically buying the equipment you get the break on, right?
Well, what it is it's going to be a tax credit on your taxes at the end of the year. It'll be
the
30
items you purchased that year.
That's right.
Okay.
So let's keep it really easy. Let's just say you went and you spent $10,000 on a new qualified Energy Star heat and air system.
Okay.
It's up to 30%. So if you spent $10,000, you'd get a $3,000 tax credit at the end of the year, assuming you put in an HVAC system that had the proper Energy Star rating on the equipment.
So if you need to replace a water heater or an HVAC system or even windows, doors, insulation, the list goes on, you receive that 30% tax credit up to $3,000 for the tax year. And you still get this credit every year, and this goes through 2032.
Everything you said was exactly right there. You can get up to $3,200. Now, if you only spent $10,000 in Energy Star upgrades, then you get a 30% credit.
Okay.
And so that would be $3,000. The maximum each year is $3,200.
Okay.
So you're right. Over the next 10 years, if you start this year and you make Energy Star rated improvements every year through 2032, the government's going to allow total tax credits up to $32,000. In other words, you can have the government pay for up to $32,000 in improvements on your home over the next 10 years. I've learned over the year that if you do what the government tells you to do, if you just go online and research government tax credits, it's amazing what's there. It's not just energy efficiency. So the government likes to tell us what to do, right? In essence, they like to tell us what to do. We don't really like that, do we?
Most people offer stern suggestions.
That's a nice way of putting it, Dave. So if you do what they say, though, there's tax credits available.
Yeah. I had no idea these were available. But now, so I can easily find one project in my home. My wife, she's hearing this and she's translating this into, I get to go buy a bunch of new appliances now. Now, hold on, honey. If she's awake right now listening to us this morning, her mind's starting to go like, that new refrigerator, that new this. So, each year you qualify. This is great news. If you're having problems with your heat or air system, if it's not cooling well or it's getting older, this is a great time, right, to look into this.
And you've got time to do it. Okay. There's a lot of people that still have systems with R22 refrigerant. That's that old refrigerant that they say.
We mentioned that last week. Yes.
They say it does damage to the ozone layer.
Yes.
So the newer systems over the last, I'd say it's been the last 10 years or so, and they come automatically with R410A. And one of the big issues is if you've got a system that's leaking Freon, and you've said, gosh, I think I'm going to wait and not replace it, that Freon's gotten up to $175, $200 a pound.
Yeah, that's expensive.
If you're pumping it in and you've got a leak, it's just going to leak out again.
Sure.
So why not take advantage, go spend money on a new system, and then take advantage this year or next and go get your system replaced and get this 30% tax credit. It
So
just
you
makes
get the,
sense.
You get the tax credit, but you're also saving each month because it's more energy efficient, and you're not getting, like you even mentioned, the refrigerant leaking out. So you're saving so much more than just the tax credit.
And there's one more thing. And if you'll watch these things.
But wait, there's more.
The infomercial. No, I don't sell heat and air equipment, so in anything we're talking about here. So this is just good advice for our listeners. But here's what's good news is there are rebates available on some of these systems. So if you were able to take advantage of a rebate, replacing your system, like you say, getting lower bills because of energy efficiency, and then getting a tax credit, it's just like a home run. Here's what our listeners can do. If you'll just go on the internet and search, and I did it at Google, okay, just search the words Energy Star Federal Tax Credits.
Okay.
All of the information's available there. This is information from the IRS and the federal government. It's great news. I didn't realize it went for 10 years. It's the Inflation Reduction Act. It's pretty exciting. So doors, windows, insulation, energy audits, upgrades to your electrical, hot water heaters, air conditioners, furnaces. What a great opportunity. And here's what I would do as a homeowner.
Okay.
Focus on one project a year. Find something that needs to be done. Maybe you've got old windows. Maybe you do the windows this year. Maybe you do the heat and air next year. Maybe you do a hot water heater the year after that. You add some insulation the year after that. Take those off in chunks. Do one project a year. Take advantage of as much of the tax credit as possible, and let Uncle Sam pay for some improvements at your home.
And if I'm building a new home, I can have that conversation with the builder and mention I want Energy Star windows, I want Energy Star appliances, and then next year I'm going to get a really big tax break, I would think, because I'm doing it all at once. Or can I?
We got to be careful there because the builder might take advantage of those tax credits instead.
Okay.
And the builder can't take them, and you take them. So if you're going to negotiate and build a custom home,
I have to have that conversation.
I would have that conversation up front with the builder.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I'm always here, Dave, to help you save money, give you great advice, and don't forget, again, at the end of the day, I'm a real estate broker. I'd absolutely be honored to help you, whether you're selling or buying, with great advice like what we just talked about now.
To schedule an appointment with Wally Kerr to help you or a family member buy or sell a home, call or text at 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Wally will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show right here on KOKC.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful, from knowing which program fits your situation the best to identifying the best terms. Hi, I'm Chris Doak with Gateway Mortgage. I work closely with you every step of the way, from pre-qualification to helping you choose the home loan that's right for you. My promise is to provide transparency, timely communication, personal service, and closings on time. Call me today at 405-253-2276. That's 405-253-2276.
NMLS 984758, Gateway Mortgage, a division of Gateway First Bank. NMLS 7233, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for your dream home? They're hard to find right now, aren't they? The best homes are being gobbled up quickly by home buyers like you who are finding the best homes at the best prices before you can get to them. Feeling frustrated? Stop the insanity and get on board with a real estate team that will do the work for you. We've got access to off-market homes that other agents don't know about and other buyers can't find. Why? My Guaranteed Home Sale program brings me home sellers every week who would like me to buy their home right now. We call it shadow inventory. Many of these sellers are ready to sell, but just aren't ready to put their home on the market. Some of them want the process to be quick and easy without having to get their home ready and endure a string of showings. Make sense? If you'd like to access these homes and other off-market properties, call me today. Tell me you heard the show when you call. Let's find your perfect home together. I'm Wally Kerr at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, 330-3000. Call me today at 330-3000.
If you or a family member will be selling or buying a home and would like to schedule an appointment with Wally, call 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr.
And we're back, and Wally, this is a neat segment because this is where our listeners get to interact with us. It's our recorded calls of the week, and I think we have a call this morning from Carter who has a great question. But if you want to record your question and have Wally possibly answer it on the air, all you have to do is call 1-844 1-844-211-3817. That's 1-844-211-3817. And when you get the prompt, it's, what is it, Wally? 1, 2, 3, 4, they punch in.
That's the mailbox we set up so that it makes it easy. You can record your question any time of day. We'll pull those down. We may only have time for one call today, but let's check in with what Carter had asked today.
Hey, Wally, this is Carter. My brother and I are interested in investing in residential real estate. How hard is it right now to find local homes we can buy that will produce a 6 to 7% cap rate? Thanks.
Okay, well, what a great question. I love investing. Cindy and I own a lot of investment property, so he's asking about cap rates. So first of all, let's just define, for some who maybe are not investors or have never really worked with cap rate, it can be confusing because a cap rate and a rate of return are two different things. So a cap rate, it's just, Dave, it's a popular metric that estimates the rate of return on like an investment property. Okay. It could be residential. It could be commercial.
So why do you need that? Why do you need that estimate? When you really don't know what the future holds, is it basically as a guideline to go into an investment? You kind of go, this is what you could expect?
Sure. So if I came to you today, Dave, and said, hey, Dave, how would you like, to buy an investment property or two this year, maybe one this year, maybe one next year, to build some generational wealth and pass that along to your kids and grandkids? And you'd say, well, I don't know, Wally. I mean, it seems like the real estate market has been a little volatile over the last year or year and a half. Sure. So what's my risk? I'm maybe more likely, Wally, to go buy some bonds, some U.S. government bonds, and maybe they're going to pay me 3 or 4%. I could just leave my money in the bank and let it sit at 0.5% or 0.75%. And there's inflation out there, Wally. So how does this all balance in? And so a cap rate is just an estimate based on current values and returns as to what your money would make for you. Let's do the simplest possible example here and make this easy. I'm going to use a $100,000 property. Now, there's not much you can buy for $100,000 right now. Okay. But if we keep it at $100,000, it makes more sense. So in this simplest example, a rental property that at the end of the year returned you $6,000. Okay. After all your expenses, if it returned you $6,000 and you invested $100,000, that's a 6 cap rate. Okay. It's a 6%. 6%. It's the easiest way of looking and saying, based on what I would pay for the property, based on what it's going to cost me for taxes and insurance and vacancy and maintenance, and then management fees, what can I make at the end of the day today, Wally, just analyzing what I pay and what those expenses would be. Okay. What's my cap rate, which is just a abbreviation for capitalization rate.
Does that cap rate change if the home is $300,000 to $500,000, or is the rate about there? But obviously, for simple math, if we just go $100,000,
yeah. So if you said a 6 cap rate was a $6,000 return on a $100,000 home, then on a $200,000 home, if you looked at me as an investor and said, I'd like to get at least a 6% return on my money, I'm thinking in my mind, that's a 6 cap rate. So on $200,000
it's
times 6, it's $12,000. Okay. Right. So it's really not difficult at all. Okay. It's just a return, but the difference is the cap rate is an instant look at what it looks like it would do today. A rate of return is, now I look at my investment portfolio, whether I own 1 home, 5 homes, or 20 homes. Okay. And at the end of 5 years, I could look and say, that was my rate of return that happened in actuality. I tried to estimate what vacancy and maintenance would be, and I kind of estimated my management fees, which are easy. Anytime you have someone manage the property, it's going to cut into your return. Sure. If you can manage it on your own and you don't have to pay those property management fees, which are typically about 10% per month, then that's going to add to your return. And then you want to buy a good property in a good area, yes, so that the vacancy is low, and then you want the maintenance to be as low as possible. So if I'm looking at a 30-year-old rental, Dave, and I normally don't buy a rental and keep it that's going to be 30 years old, okay, because older homes will typically need more maintenance. Sure. But I'm looking at heat and air systems and appliances and roof shingles and trying to minimize how much there's going to be, in repairs over the years.
So Carter asked the question, how hard is it to find these local homes right now?
Yeah,
how hard is it to get that rate, the cap rate, right?
Here's why it's so hard right now is because home prices are up. And if you're going to finance and use financing, that's also going to cut into your return. Yes. Now, you can write off interest, if you buy the property and you rent it, you can actually take deductions for the interest and the taxes and the insurance and the vacancy and maintenance on the property and even the management fees, and you can deduct those on your taxes if you're renting the property. To get a 6 cap rate, I've seen times in the past where you could get a 7, a 7.5, an 8%. The 6s are a little harder to hit. You're going to get closer to that if you buy cash, and that's one of my challenges to our listeners is if you have money that's sitting in the bank and you're only earning a half or 3/4 or 1% on your money with it sitting in the bank, might be time to go invest. Those 6 cap rates, a little hard to find today, Carter. You have to search for those and watch for them very closely. But most investors in real estate, residential real estate, really don't want less than about a 5.5 or a 6 cap rate. 6 to 8 would be really good.
I would think this is the perfect scenario, and this might be a small percentage of our listeners. But if you get an inheritance and you take a little bit of that money because I want to make sure I have no bills. I want to pay off my house and upgrade a car and pay it off, and I'm done. Now I have this money on the side, and I want to earn additional money with it. Paying cash for one of these properties is one that's going to be a benefit, and then finding a good management company, or now if I have time to manage myself, that's a good way to really increase wealth over the next couple of years. And you said create generational wealth for your families to come if you have a situation like that.
That's what Cindy and I have done is by buying these properties, my kids and my grandkids are going to be in great shape, and they'll have streams of income with paid off properties. So if you're looking at a cap rate, again, Carter, just take the investment price, what you pay, try to estimate your return, and divide that return by your investment. So in this case, if the return was $6,000 and you invested $100,000, there's your 6 cap rate.
Okay, well, let's talk about those homes we can go buy right now and see what the cap rates are. Listings of the week and maybe some off-market homes that people can search for these. They're not going to find them. They're going to have to give Wally a call and say, Wally, I want to check out your secret stash of homes that only I can bid on
We've got them.
Buy.
We've got them.
Let's talk about the listing of the week right now.
Let's do that. First, I want to mention our only open house this weekend, and that's in South Oklahoma City. This is 13908 South Broadway. It's in the Westmore School District. Hey, by the way, folks, if you get a contract on a home, you can actually go to the school board, show that purchase contract, and get into that school district. There's a little known.
By being in your old house right now.
Right.
So if you're living in Norman, and maybe your child went to Norman High or Norman North, then go to Westmore High School, even if you haven't moved yet, because you're going to be moving. But so let's just go ahead and make that transition now.
That purchase contract gives you really a vested interest in that school district.
Yes.
So this is a good one. This is a 4-bed, a 3 full bath. It's got a fireplace in the master. It's about 2,600 square feet. And I believe this home has 2 primary suites on the inside, like
nice.
Almost 2 master suites. This home is open with Trinity on our team from 2 to 4 this Sunday, so stop by and meet Trinity if you like. Off-market homes and listings of the week, Dave. Let's talk about some of those exciting off-markets after I tell you about our listings of the week, so stay tuned here a minute.
All right.
Boy, I had one I was going to mention this week that we listed in Yukon. It was in the Mustang School District. We put that on the market at $227,000, which was market value. It sold in 3 days. That one's already gone, and I thought I could offer that to our listeners this week. So here's some good ones. 1200 Southern Hills. We've talked about this one once or twice.
Okay.
It's in Norman. It's near OU, about 2 miles away. It's on a golf course. It overlooks the golf course. It's treed. It's on 2 acres. It's got a heated pool and spa. It's a 5-bed, 4.5 bath, over 5,200 feet. The owners reduced that home $75,000 this week.
Wow.
It's now $1 million in price is the new price. Big reduction and motivated owners. So take a look at 1200 Southern Hills online.
It's in Norman, a golf course.
Oh, it's a beautiful setting.
Know what?
Just gorgeous.
Why don't you give me the papers right now? Let's just take it off the market.
Let me, Dave, let me get.
Sounds fantastic.
I wasn't prepared for you today, but I can make that happen.
And we could see these online. I'll have to check that one out. Not that I'm in the wherewithal to go purchase a house right now. I love my home, but boy,
what's your wife's cell phone number again? Let me
let's not
type that in here.
That's cool. So, what are some of the other ones?
Got another one that's got 2 primary suites in an affordable Northwest Oklahoma City location just off of Memorial. This is a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3-car, and it's got 2 primary suites, which is great for a lot of families. Over 2,400 feet, community pool, gated community, $327,500 in price. That's 7420 Northwest 130th Street.
Wow.
And if I can mention one more, one at Rivendell on the Lake. This has had a price reduction over the last 2 weeks. It's right on the lake, beautiful pool, incredible view, 4-bed, 4-bath, 3-car, 4 fireplaces, a sauna in the master closet, a dry sauna. It's a gated community, and it's 12304 Bywater at Rivendell on the Lake.
Okay.
That is now, I believe it's $1,079,000. That's a great property. Okay, the off markets. You asked me about those, and I teased our listeners, so probably better get on with the off markets, right? So I looked at a home this last week in Norman, about 20 minutes from Tinker, with a really nice 30 by 50 shop building.
Oh, cool.
110 and 220.
Okay.
Electricity inside. It's about 1,700 square feet on over 2 acres. I'll be putting a price on that one real soon. If that strikes your fancy and you're listening, that's not on the market. Other agents can't find it. Other agents don't know about it, and other buyers can't find it, and it's not online. So call me. Also look at an amazing Goldsby area luxury home on 10 acres. It's unrestricted land, Dave. So
what does that mean exactly?
you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay. You can go out and
I can run cattle.
You can. You can do anything you want to. Unrestricted. It's ready for livestock. This one's going to be around 1.3.
Okay.
I don't think this is coming on the market anytime soon, but they said they would sell. So if you know somebody looking in the Goldsby area with 10 acres of land and a beautiful home, it's 4,300 feet, call me. A great Northeast Edmond home, just looked at, just a few years old. It's a farmhouse style, around $330,000 near I-35. That is a great property also. So call me if you're looking for a home and you can't find what you want. I may already have the perfect home coming up. But the first thing I need to know is what you're looking for, right?
Yes.
And if you've got kids or grandkids looking, I'd love to help them negotiate for a home and give them the best possible advice, whether they're selling or buying.
To schedule an appointment with Wally Kerr to help you or a family member buy or sell a home, call or text at 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Wally will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show right here on KOKC.
The market is shifting. Do you know what to do? If you're selling a home, you need to realize that market demand is changing, and it's changing now. More homes are coming on the market than homes that are actually selling, so the inventory is going up. What does rising inventory mean? Prices can soften. It's important you get on the train right now and understand what you need to do to sell a home. First of all, my guaranteed home sale program will create more demand for your home because I can buy someone else's home so that they can buy yours. If you're thinking about selling by owner, I can create more demand for your home than you can ever create on your own. I'm Wally Kerr, and I believe in aggressive marketing. My wife and I have done this for 36 years together, and we now have a team of 28 people. If you'd like to create more demand for your home so that your home will sell faster and for top dollar, give me a call today at 405-330-4000 at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I'd love to meet with you and discuss a strategy and plan for getting your home sold. Call me at 330-4000. I look forward to talking to you myself.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful, from knowing which program fits your situation the best to identifying the best terms. Hi, I'm Chris Doak with Gateway Mortgage. I work closely with you every step of the way, from pre-qualification to helping you choose the home loan that's right for you. My promise is to provide transparency, timely communication, personal service, and closings on time. Call me today at 405-253-2276. That's 405-253-2276.
NMLS 984758. Gateway Mortgage, a division of Gateway First Bank. NMLS 7233. Equal housing lender.
If you or a family member will be selling or buying a home and would like to schedule an appointment with Wally, call 405-330-3000 or go to wallysguarantee.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr.
Wally, lots of great information on the show today. And if you joined us late, be sure to tune in tomorrow at noon. Hear about the federal income tax credits for energy efficiency home improvements. That's U.S. tax credits you can take advantage of every year now through 2032. That's a pretty amazing segment today. And now coming up next week, you have something that you're going to start. It's going to be a special segment on maybe first-time home buyers.
That's right. If you're a listener and you got kids or grandkids or maybe friends, just younger people that you are associated with, maybe you know them from church, we're going to do a segment for, in fact, we'll do several shows here in the coming weeks on first-time buyers and what to do to get ready to buy your first home. So even if someone's a year out, a year and a half out, going to offer some really good advice and take it right down to the basics and help people looking for their first home, whether you're 20 years old or you're 50 years old.
Sure.
I've actually talked to people before that have never bought a home and they're in their 50s. So we'll offer some great advice starting next week.
Get your affairs in order, and if you have like about a year and a half, if you're young and you're thinking, hey, it's a great time to start saving a little bit, put some back, because there's a lot of little things that come along when you buy a new home. You know that you're going to want to go out and buy a little bit of this, a little bit of that to put in this room and that room and everything. I'm being very convoluted and vague, but
no, it's okay.
There's a lot of little things there that you're going to want to save up for.
Well, and I think people need to remember, if they go buy a brand new home, that maybe the blinds aren't included on the inside, and there's things that you have to still buy with a brand new home that might be available in an existing home. We've had a lot of really good topics and subjects. I don't know if you realize, Dave, I thought about this. This is our 6-month anniversary of our show.
Happy anniversary.
And you. So we've had a lot of information that we've shared. Our listeners can go online, because I don't mention this often enough, to wallytalkshouses.com. We've built a website there. We've got all of our shows well organized with the topics listed, so our listeners can go in and download and listen to any show as we celebrate our 26th show together.
Okay.
We started 6 months ago, so I hope we've been able to share a lot of knowledge and expertise for our listeners.
So share with us today what you see and where you think the real estate market is headed, maybe short-term and long-term outlooks, if you can.
Let me light up my crystal ball here. You got a lighter here, Dave? So let me just tell you what I see right now.
Okay.
So the numbers for inflation continue to look good. And so as inflation looks lower, this should lead to steady interest rates, and probably for a while, probably in this 6.5% to 7% range. I think there will be some fluctuations. There's always going to be data coming out all the time.
Sure.
Consumer price indexes and inflation and what's going on in China and the markets. So based on weekly and monthly market data, I think the interest rates are going to stay pretty steady. There's a pretty bright outlook for the housing market in 2024, Dave. Now, home values are expected to continue increasing even through the winter here.
Okay.
Our values are going up right now based on data. They're still running an absolute minimum of 2 to 2.5% appreciation per year.
Okay.
Where some people thought that values were going down. Sales activity is still at a decent rate right now, but school is starting. So sales are expected to decline as we go through August and into September, but that's normal. So if you're a home seller, pricing is key. If you get a decent offer on your home, I'd be very careful about turning it down right now.
Yes.
If you called me on the phone and you're listening today and you said, Wally, is the housing market going to get busier over the next 2 or 3 months, or do you see it slowing down? And emphatically, my answer is going to be expect a slower market, unless suddenly interest rates took a big dip, and we just covered that's not expected. So if you get a decent offer, consider it. This is not the market we were in a year ago or 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago.
Sure.
Rates are higher. Buyers are less likely to just run in and go give perhaps as much as they would for a home 2 years ago. You might need to negotiate a bit or pay some closing costs. The market's changed. And then if you're a buyer and you need expert advice from a 35-year professional, call me. Our team would absolutely love to represent you.
You mentioned that the rates could be anywhere 6.5%, 6 3/4, and then the home appreciation values are maybe around 2%. You always got to think about, it is a place for me to live, but this is an investment, and over time, over the course of 10 years, that's going to be the payoff for me. I'm not going to save that money right now. I can get a good deal and I can get a good interest rate, but you always got to think about, ultimately, this will be a really good investment, no matter if I'm buying a $250,000 home or a $450,000 home. When I'm 10 and 15 years down the road and it's time to either scale back, boy, I have a lot of equity that I can use, or we're ready to step up now. I've grown my little nest egg of a down payment with the equity in the home I have now, and that's going to help me down the road.
Yeah, I think your point is well taken. Values are going to continue to go up. You probably want to measure, too, how long you're going to live in the home.
Sure.
If somebody came in from Tinker and said, hey, I'm going to be here a year and a half, and then I think I'm going to move, I might be a little bit more hesitant to say buy a home. Because if they pay a brokerage fee when they sell it, maybe that's only a break-even point. So let's analyze together how long you're going to own a home. But long-term, we talked about rentals earlier.
Yes.
Cindy and I have incredible equity in our rental properties that are all paid off now. It's because we bought homes, we kept them, we paid them off, and the values went way up. So Home ownership is still a great investment. Just always need to analyze your own personal situation.
Fantastic. Great show today. And I'll be excited about the new segment next week. And it was good to see you. And you have a great week.
Thanks, Dave. Always enjoy spending time with you.
You've been listening to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with Wally Kerr. Heard every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and replayed on Sundays at noon right here on 1520 a.m. and 95.3 FM KOKC. Wally's name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. To speak with Wally directly about selling your home or buying, call or text him to schedule an appointment at 405-330-3000, 405-330-3000, or go to wallysguarantee.com. That's wallysguarantee.com.